It's always a big simcha when we're able to participate in the bar mitzvah of another Yid, Klal Yisrael, and it's even a greater simcha when a Rebbe is able to participate in a bar mitzvah of a Talmud. In the few short moments that I have, Bezi, I would like to share with you perhaps direction now that you're a Bar Chiyuva and what your future holds and how Be'ezus Hashem you can navigate the waters of life. In the end of Parshas Re'eh, the Torah writes, V'zacharta ki eved v'yisa b'mitzrayim. We are going through now the parashiyos of Avdus in Mitzrayim. And the Torah, when it discusses this in the Re'eh, writes, you should remember that you were once an Eved in Mitzrayim, V'shomarta v'ositzo es hachukim ha'ila. And you should keep all of these laws, all of these mitzvahs. The Pasuk starts off with saying we should remember we were an Eved in Mitzrayim. And then the Pasuk ends off by saying we should remember V'shomarta v'ositzo es hachukim ha'ila. What does the beginning of the Pasuk have to do with the end of the Pasuk? If the Torah is trying to tell us that we're supposed to keep the Taryag mitzvahs, so let the Torah say we're supposed to keep the Taryag mitzvahs. What's the juxtaposition? What is the purpose of writing in the beginning of the Pasuk? That we should remember first that we were avodim in Mitzrayim. And Rashi makes this observation, and Rashi answers, you know what the Torah is teaching us? Al menas kein b'disicha, shetishmar v'taseh hachukim ha'ila. Do you know why I, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, redeemed you from Mitzrayim? It's because for one and only reason. In order that we keep His Torah and mitzvahs. What do we see from this Rashi? It's very clear that the Torah is trying to convey the message that we are no more avodim to Paroi, but rather we are becoming avodim to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ano avdo de kutsha berichu. Rather than being a slave to HaKadosh, but rather being a slave to Paroi, we are now to be an Eved, a slave to HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Torah and mitzvahs. But those words, we have to explain, Bezi. What does it mean to be an Eved of Hashem? What is the Torah trying to convey here? What type of a message is that to be an Eved? Chazal tell us that two people in the Torah are described as an Eved of Hashem. One is Avraham Avinu and one is Moshe Rabbeinu. So I'd like to take a couple of moments to share with you when Avraham Avinu was given that title of Eved Hashem. Chazal tell us, Asara Nisyonos Nisnase Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu was tested with 10 tests. And the peak of the tests, we all know, was the famous one, the 10th, Akedas Yitzchak. Akedas Yitzchak was the test that when Avraham Avinu passed, HaKadosh Baruch Hu now bestowed on him the title of now becoming an Eved Hashem. What was so special about Akedas Yitzchak that he got that title of Eved Hashem? To compound the problem, unfortunately, living through the Holocaust of the last 100 years, we know people, unfortunately, have given up their children on the altar of Rahman al-Islam in the camps. And yet, I don't think they're called Eved Hashem. Avraham Avinu, however, who didn't actually sacrifice Yitzchak, is yes given that title. What's the significance of Akedas Yitzchak that now he was given that title of Eved Hashem? Reb Chaim Shmulevitz Zatzal in his Sefer Sichas Musar so eloquently explains that the test was not like you and I would think, to offer his son Yitzchak on an Akedah. Rather, explains Reb Chaim Shmulevitz so beautifully, In the days of Avraham Avinu was going around the world preaching that the Avodah Zarah of the day is Treif Chazar. And we must serve Hashem rather than doing the Avodah Zarah of the day. What was the Avodah Zarah of the day? Believe it or not, it was sacrificing your child to the gods. And here Avraham Avinu for years is going around and preaching how it's asur to go and sacrifice your child to Avodah Zarah. You have to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu instead. And today, he is told by HaKadosh Baruch Hu to offer the ultimate karban, his son, on an Akedah. Rabbi Sai, does anyone realize the thoughts that was going through Avram's mind? Oy, Gevalt, I'm such a hypocrite. I've been going around all my life preaching how this is asur, and now I should go and offer a karban, my son? And what's going to happen? Everything I've done or tried to do throughout my entire life by touching people's lives is all for naught. All the people now are going to accuse me of hypocrisy of the highest level. And nothing, all my hard work will go down the tubes. And Avraham Avinu was thinking this. And if we can go into his mind a little bit, we probably can try to conjure up a thought that perhaps Avraham Avinu might have had. And that is, nah, that's probably not what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted me to do. And perhaps Avraham Avinu can start rationalizing and explaining, is that what really HaKadosh Baruch Hu meant? Maybe it was just a mashal. Maybe he meant something else entirely. As we all know, we always like to come up with all different excuses throughout our life to rationalize. And perhaps Avraham Avinu as well would have rationalized. But yet we know that Avraham Avinu passed the test. An Eved of Hashem doesn't ask why I should jump. You ask how high I should jump. An Eved of Hashem doesn't start analyzing what the demands or the requests were. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells me to offer my son, a kapara de hypocrisy. If this is what Kutcha Baruch Hu wants from me, I do as HaKadosh Baruch Hu says. And I set aside my thoughts and feelings and emotions. And I do what HaKadosh Baruch Hu dictates that I need to do. And when the fallout happens afterwards, that's okay. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu still wanted me to do what I needed to do. Says Reb Chaim Shmulevitz Zatzal, that's when Avraham Avinu got the title of Eved Hashem. It's not sufficient to sacrifice our son. It's more than that. It's sacrificing our minds and making sure that we realize that when the going gets tough and we sometimes come up with all different excuses, I am ultimately an Eved of Hashem. And I do as HaKadosh Baruch Hu so desires. How does one become an Eved of Hashem? It's a test. As you, Bezi, embark on this beautiful path called a path of Torah and mitzvahs, you have to think about this idea, this concept of what it means being mekabel upon oneself, Torah and mitzvahs. It means at all costs. It means putting aside our thoughts and excuses and rationalizations that we might have. So yes, the task is daunting, Bezi. But you, Baruch Hashem, have parents to look up to. You have a mishpacha that no doubt inculcates that midah of what it means in the family to dedicate one's life to Torah and mitzvahs truly at all costs. Even if that means doing things that maybe go against the current or against the tide. But if this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from us, this is what we have to do. And so, Bezi, my bracha to you, me'umka de liba, is that you be zeicha to continue on this path that your family has set forth for you, that now as you become a Bar Chiyuva, you continue and extend the nachas that your parents so much want from you, that you truly become what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from you, and that is to become an Eved Hashem that does the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu at all costs. Mazel Tov.